Kristy, hi, how are you?
Good, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Do you have a good July 4th?
I did have a good July 4th. Trying to, celebrate unity and then seeing some of the headlines, especially with Meta around July 4th, was kind of disturbing. But other than that, it was good.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good segue, Kristy. What have you been watching this week? And specifically, what are your comments around what's going on at Meta?
Right. I mean, so right before everybody broke from the holiday, which was well needed, especially with our 250 anniversary here. Meta came out and basically said we moved too fast and broke too many things, and trust has eroded. And so essentially, all the very aggressive moves that they're making with AI and cutting workforce, 8,000 employees, which was roughly 10% of their workforce, along with their mousing effects of, when people are being monitored and what they're bringing into as far as intel to AI, it all blew up. And he, along with his executive team, have come out and said that there was massive hits, employee blows, and employee engagement issues, productivity issues, and that they're not going to see results probably for another 6 months. And at this, a lot of people lost their jobs due to a mistake that employees and now former employees and customers and consumers are going to pay for, rather than actual Zuckerberg and the fiduciary responsibilities that he holds, as a public company, and with his board, of his whole line of move fast and break stuff is really now not working out for him. So I think we really need to rethink that moving forward.
Yeah, I was struck by, I mean, when you've got this, I think it was the CTO was the one that came out and said that morale is probably the lowest it's ever been. I mean, to have someone of the C-suite actually publicly say that
Yeah.
is amazing to me. That, I mean, it must be really bad.
Yeah. Well, you can't hide behind it anymore, right? Like, there's only so much you can hide behind AI. It's making employees disengaged. It's making them sick. It's making them tired. It's making them burnt out. And it's not even showing up positively on a bottom line. And so, what was it worth? What was it really worth for at the end of the day?
Well, and so I don't think Meta are alone here, right? So, we've been talking about the latest Glassdoor numbers, and they paint a pretty dire picture. So, worst leadership scores since 2017, so almost a decade, pre-COVID. Misalignment up 95%, disconnect up 52%, distrust up 18%. This is all over the past 12 months. So it seems to me that there's this is playing out everywhere. You've got these massive investments in AI. I mean, obviously, big tech is at the real extreme end of this, but it's happening everywhere, and employees are just not going with management on this. So
Yep.
it's like, what is the answer? Because I don't think this dynamic's going to change anytime soon.
Right. I mean, we have moved from a very employee centric market to being a very employer centric market, with especially with the rise of AI, along with a lot of other things that have been bubbling up and boiling over, particularly in the US economy, right? 2017 and 2026 is a decade, and there's a lot of similarities there, and there's a lot of differences there. But when you look at it, we are at these two sides of extremes, right? Where companies are pushing and pulling so hard, employees, can't keep up. Nobody is thinking, everybody is reacting. They're all following FOMO because they all want to be ahead of the game, and yet they have no idea what the game is yet, because they haven't even completely vetted it or planned it or strategized upon it or even talked or communicated. They just did things. And so there's lots of casualties of that war, when people aren't thinking and they're just doing and they're reacting, and employees are getting caught in the middle. They don't know which way is up or which way is down. And nobody believes anybody anymore, because at the end of the day, the employees are suffering, and you do not have an organization without employees. And you also do not have consumers without employees. And so it's not just overall employee sentiment, it's consumer sentiment right now. People in the United States are struggling just to buy groceries. And now their jobs are being cut because of AI. And then they're finding out, oh, yeah, it was a really big mistake. Are they getting their jobs back? Are they getting compensation back? Are they able to buy more groceries? No, there is no accountability. And so I think that we need to find, we need to meet people where they're at, and we need to find that healthy middle again.
Yeah. Yeah, and so putting your HR hat on, Kristy, how is that done given this environment? What does leadership need to do, and what do employees need to do? Like, where's that meeting in the middle?
This is a whole change management exercise. The first thing people need to understand is what their current state is, the good, bad, and the ugly. What's working, what's not working, what do you have no idea about, right? And really getting overall honest sentiment within the organization, not just as far as employees, but what that looks like overall productivity, what it looks like on the revenue line. What is the current state? Then it's having a map of what you want the future state of the organization to look like and do, and how it's going to continue to succeed and ignite consumers and their growth plans. And then it's about building a bridge. And that bridge is built based on three important components: executive leadership, really good communications and transparency, along with overall project management and executive sponsorship. If you do not have that triad, you do not have a plan. This whole thing of forcing people to get to the other side, where I'd say cost people, is not working, and nor has that ever worked. And so this is basically change management 101. Stop moving fast and breaking things. It's stupid, and the costs are adding up. And really look at this as a pure executive and what you need to do. Because here's another statistic that's very interesting. Back in 2017, and this happened also in 2007 around the housing crisis, CEOs were getting fired from companies at enormous levels. And it's happening again right now, where CEOs are getting fired at enormous levels for not being able to keep up with AI. It has nothing to do with AI. They can't keep up with their change management plans. They cannot keep up their costs. They cannot keep up with their overall revenue. That's what's breaking them. So these CEOs that are getting fired is going back to the biggest issue, which is change management. That's the number one reason why they're getting fired and why they're leaving organizations. They don't know how to manage change, and managing change is managing people.
Yeah, and if you're not managing change, you are building a massive trust issue on a daily basis. So could be a good place to leave it there. Thanks, Kristy. I think again, we seem to come back and the same issues keep coming up, but trust issues abound and no quick fix, I don't think. Anyway, we'll catch up next week.
Awesome. Take care. Thanks, Tom.